Tell me about Roderick.
You tell me about Rod.
Roderick's a real nasty, nasty, evil court. He's the king's right hand man. He's the politician of the piece, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's the king's courtier who advises the king. He wants to marry the king's daughter, and in those days, probably that would be a marriage that would happen, but just for power. But he only wants to marry her so that he can become king in his own right at the end of the day.
Right.
He doesn't love her. And I play Elmont, and I look after. You tell me what do I do?
Well, Elmont is one of the heroes of the story. He's the most noble knight that there is, and he's protected the king and I guess the queen at one point, right before she died, right?
Yeah,
right.
The
we never
Elmont
really
story
see
with the
that.
queen is one that we don't talk about very much.
There's the sequel or prequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, he protects the princess and will do anything he can to do right by her and by the king. And he's utterly fearless. He doesn't always accomplish what he makes an attempt to, but luckily Jack's there to sort of pick up the slack.
The actual process of working on a green screen stage it becomes purely technical in a way. And we are instinctive, reactive beasts as actors. And you're having to imagine not only what might be there, but also what you're reacting against. What might they do? With another actor, you react off instinctively. You don't think about it. So that it's like a one-sided conversation when you're pretending to act with a giant. So it's complicated.
It's very difficult, tedious, boring at times. It's much more interesting to work with another actor. You're getting something back, and each take can be different. It's a dialogue. It's an emotional exchange, whereas that becomes you sort of throwing out things emotionally into the ether, and you don't quite know what you're doing. But the people behind the scenes know what they're doing, and Brian sees very clearly what things are supposed to be. And then of course we see the final product and we get it. But during that process it's quite tedious and confounding sometimes.
Riding horses is always a great pleasure, and I've
great.
always loved to do that. And that was fun because it's a great pleasure to ride a horse. The climbing was awkward because of the armor, and it was often raining, and you're carrying a lot of equipment, and you've got harness, which is uncomfortable. And so the climbing was the most challenging thing, really.
I think it's about confronting your fears. I think that's one of the overriding themes of the film.